So now here we are 4 years later, and the FCC has decided that it's important to improve the way they do mapping. And this has been a big time problem for many, many years. And I think finally they're putting some money behind this. And I think it's a good thing. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I do. In fact, it kind of reminds me, just just yesterday morning, I live in a community with about 100,000 people, and our internet has not always been that great. And this is kind of a side story. And I get a random email from Spectrum saying that they're going to, for free, upgrade my internet speeds. I got actually 2 emails. One a few months ago saying they were going to bring me up to 200 megabits, and then one yesterday saying 300 megabits. And come to find out, there's a fiber company rolling through town, and so it seems that competition is kind of what it took for for Spectrum to come through and say, okay, we have to provide better service. And I think that kind of brings us back to where we are with the mapping. You can always throw money at the problem. You can always just almost a dartboard and say, let's go build out here. We think it's a good spot, but if you're going to do it well, and if you're going to do it efficiently, you need to know where those dollars go, where they need to go. And so it all starts with the mapping. And I think there also it's been pretty evident that the mapping in the past has not been adequate. So it's an interesting point for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously now the government has added a few more zeros to the funding to go to close a digital divide and to build out into rural areas. I think we're all aware of the Infrastructure Act that was passed by Congress earlier this year, has allocated $42 billion for this effort. But one of the strings attached was the law required that the FCC improve their broadband maps. And so that has flown downhill to our customers and our listeners who are worried about what to do about this. So the first deadline is September 1st. What do they need to do by September 1st?
Right. So the first deadline, you have to do all of your, traditional Form 477 filing, but now you have to do this broadband data collection filing, and it's significantly more detailed. And so before there were 2 files that you had to report. Now, I think depending on how you do it, there may be as many as 13 to 15, I kind of lose count. But yeah, they have to go through, for a wireless provider, they need to reasonably know at the location level who they cover and who they don't cover. So if you imagine just a road and there are homes and businesses along that road, for every single one of those locations on that road where you might be able to provide service, you have to indicate covered or not covered. And yeah, so there's 2 ways. You can do a polygon submission, which is basically a propagation heat map, or you can do it just by locations, identifying each individual location based on the serviceable fabric.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, right? This isn't a one-time deal, right? This is going to be twice a year for basically moving forward, right?
Yeah, that's right. It looks like it's going to be the new Form 477. So yeah, it's going to be here, unfortunately. And fortunately and unfortunately, it's quite the burden to fill out. That's the unfortunate part. The fortunate part is it means that government money will go where it needs to go, at least, and ideally.